If this is one of those clickbait news articles on the front page of some shitty website that makes you subscribe or watch a million ads, the title of this article would be, Carrion is one of the best horror games you'll never be scared of. Which sounds like a bad thing with the context that you're the one doing the scares. You take the role of a sentient and hungry biomass out to consume all the fleshy meatbags you come across and smash the metal golems they have protecting them. The game is flat out beautiful, with the pixel art graphics displaying the gory mess before you. In fact, there's so much gore that I'm glad it's pixelated. The bloody tendrils of the biomass would no doubt be hard to look at if the graphics were highly detailed 4K textures with ray tracing. But even if the pixels are hiding some of the horror, it's still a beautiful sight to see. The variation in Biomass's character model alone impresses me. With more bodies you eat, the bigger you get, and every step along that size chart has a legit size of the monster. The more damage you take, the smaller you get until you're a tiny clump trying to desperately reach a body to grow back to size with. The sound effects also differ based on the size of the monster, with the tendrils getting more violent as you get larger, working harder to move all that weight around. All the sound effects give you an effective understanding of how monstrous the creature truly is. The music of the game is also quite good. The game syncs up with the music, whether you're creeping through a vent or when you get caught and have to fight off your next meal. The only thing I long for is a musical stinger when I jump out of a vent, but getting the timing of that would certainly be near impossible in a video game like this. The gameplay is, by and large, the best part. I've never really played any game like it, and I think that's why I like it so much. The controls are simple. You hold the left mouse button to move the creature towards your cursor, and the right mouse button to move his grabbing tendrils to rip and tear people towards you. Some abilities have you press buttons on the keyboard, and there are parts where you control a human with a normal WASD, but most of the time you'll just be using your mouse. With the controls being so simple, I find it really intuitive to just dive right into the game, which the game clearly intends, with the closest thing to a tutorial being the challenges to learning new powers as you get them. And those challenges are more challenging than hand-holding learning moments. I like that this game doesn't pretend there's some massive learning curve when there isn't. It just drops right into the action and keeps things difficult and interesting by adding more and more to do and look for. Carrion keeps drawing you further and further into the facility you're trapped in, by giving you different abilities and strengths, eventually going from a few small hungry cells to a mass that barely fits into an elevator and just smashes its way through its problems. With the 3 tiers of sizes come 3 sets of powers and abilities. The smallest being more focused on sneaking around and being quick and agile, the second being big smashy time, and the third being get over here so I can eat you because I'm too big to move. While the size of the creature only affects the speed at which you can move a little bit, the handling is affected a lot since you have more mass dragging behind you, and therefore more mass to think about keeping safe. Carrion does have you backtrack through some levels to get more powers, but all the enemies stay dead and the puzzles stay solved, so it's just about doing what you didn't do before. With the only collectibles being one-to-one upgrades, and though some feel less powerful than others, they're all noticeable, so it's hard to complain about needing to go back through. You'll run into and enjoy the story of Carrion along the way. Watch the discovery of yourself by humans on the big screen, during which there is no narration, no speaking at all in fact. All of it is told to you by showing you what's going on. There is some interact to read what you're looking at, but the actual story is just shown to you. In fact, only voice lines in the game are just of people screaming as you eat them. It's impressive to me that there's so much that can be told without telling you a thing. Overall, Carrion is a game I never knew I wanted. I've always had a distaste for horror games and movies. Being scared was just never my forte, but being scary is another thing entirely. Though the game is short, only a few hours long, I still believe I've got my money's worth. And while I'm uncertain the replayability of the game, I'm certain that if you enjoy it, that it's short enough you could play it every Halloween, and there's even an extra Christmas level if you're looking for an excuse to play it then. I think this game is worth the price tag just for how unique and fun it is. After all, who doesn't want to become one with the biomass?